Hello.
Hi.
Ooh.
Please welcome my lovely guests, Jane the Seeker Tarot, Teri at Holding Your Space, intuitive. I am your lovely host, or not so lovely host, Tarot Stash, and welcome to a laugh and learn about Archangel Azrael. So I want to remind everybody this is for inspirational and educational purposes only. For entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based on what we say. Seek professional assistance, really. And there is a chat full of the best chatters.
Favorite hashtag ever.
I mean, it's true. So they're really good. Teri, how have you been since I was with you? Gosh, I was with you last week, wasn't I?
Yeah, last Thursday or Friday, I think. Yeah, great. Busy.
Good.
So, yeah.
Very good. And I was with Jane on Tuesday when I did a channel takeover for a bit.
Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it.
I remember that. That was fun.
Yes.
You were great.
Well, I mean, it was fun and I was comfortable with it. And so, and Jane and I have something scheduled for later in the month. So that's good. So shall we say hi to the best chatters on the internet?
Definitely.
Viviani is here. The lovely medium Betsy Palmer is here, who in a couple of weeks is going to be here on Tuesday for Woo Woo Witchery and Coffee Club readings.
Nice.
I keep wanting to call it the unfiltered edition.
So, will you make it on nighttime?
No.
I'm not. There we go again.
So, Beth is here, Aspasia Rising, and Tony, Antoinette Intuitive, Tarot in Jewelry, Jackie's Crystal Moon, good evening to Ireland, Mirella, hello, and Hershey is here, hello, good to see you. Oh my gosh, Jackie's Crystal Moon is sitting in my garden chair, bottle of water and cards. Very hot here in Ireland, hoping for thunder.
Yeah. I talked to my brother and sister-in-law in England yesterday, and they were hot. It was bad.
Yeah. Maruda is here. Hello. And Jane asked you a question. I mean, Beth asked you a question, Jane. Is it?
Yesterday we got rain and snow.
Whoa.
And so I put on my Facebook page with I said, well, I think it's the end of the world.
And are you feeling fine?
Very fun, feeling fine.
There you go. You got that reference. Good. Cosmic Orphan is here. Hello, Stephen. Good to see you. I think that's right. Pia's Life is here. Betsy said it's a good idea to call it, unfiltered because, we'll just give it to you straight. Boom.
I love that.
So there you go.
I try not to filter myself.
Yeah.
It's,
It's no fun.
Star Midnight is here. I was going to say Starlight Midnight. Okay.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that name.
Well, thank you, Hershey. I think we do.
I have one here.
Wait, I have one too, but I can't snap.
This one doesn't snap. I have a snapper here somewhere. Oh yeah.
I should really have a Tarot Stash fan made, shouldn't I?
You should.
Yes, you should.
Can you imagine? It'll have a big mustache on it.
Yeah, and then you can give them away to all of your guests that are on your channel. No.
Yeah, especially your two favorite guests.
There you go. Well, I'm not. Okay, I'm not gonna be mean. I'm not going to be mean. So more and more people coming in. Oh, goodbye the coast of 71 Celsius at 7. Wow. And conundrum. If you call it unfiltered, it's implied that the exception and other readings are filtered. Well, that's true.
That is a conundrum.
We'll see. We'll see. Pamela Batchelor is here. Hello, Pamela. Cheyenne Shining is here. Hello. So today you can see we are doing a laugh and learn about Archangel Azrael. And this is today's date. You all know the routine. Please give thumbs up. Do all of the YouTubey things, correct? And trying to think if I have other things to. Oh yeah, here you go. Like and subscribe. It's free. I need tiny angel wings for my tiny hands.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you could make some out of those tiny mustaches you have, you know. Just saying.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good
That's
point.
a good point.
I know.
Tarot Stash, you have always been on point when you have given me a reading or answered a question I asked. Well, thank you. You're welcome.
That's sweet.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you should. As soon as you get to the long list done of your working on now, deck included. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
right. Because you have to make the chat deck.
Yes, I have to make the chat deck. There you go. That was Hershey. Do all the YouTubey things.
She good at that. Do all the YouTubey things.
If you know the Smurfs, Gargamel was the villain and Azrael was the cat. Just made me think of that. Pardon the spelling. You know, I thought about that too. Yeah, mustache wings. So,
right. And if you watch, well, first of all, when Gerald goes, yeah, you want to do this laugh and learn? We're going to do Archangel Azrael, and I'm like, the angel of death? And he goes, yes, and many other things too. But but I was just finished watching on Netflix that show Lucifer.
Oh, it's great.
Okay.
I love that show so much. Oh my gosh. And it's just a quirky detective show, but in there they call Azrael Ray Ray.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Well, I think it is important to, as we're encouraging people to work with angels and not just archangels, because there's a lot of angels and they all work together, that we develop personal relationships with, because then we have the language that is needed. So, you know, the language and the familiarity, and with the respect that is needed. So, oh, Hershey is working on my edumacation.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
We'll leave that up to chat. Tony, are we calling Gerald Gargamel or Azrael? So, I mean, it's a legit question. So, and so, okay. Betsy says hello. So, okay. Azrael is the most of the time is spelled this way. I've also seen it, and by the way, I have so many electronic notes that I stopped trying to transfer them. So there's also variations of the spelling, like Azriel, and Ashrriel, and Azariel. And I apologize. I'm for spelling it, everybody. I'm not pointing my fingers at you or my wands. So it's just a general chit chat. So, but there's there's a lot of variations of that. So, do either of you, do you have other variations of the spelling of the names?
No.
I didn't write them down. All I wrote was there were two different things that I got as to what his you know how each angel has their like job assignment or
Mhm.
they, you know, and I got that Azrael is also called, you know, God has helped or he who helps God.
Mhm.
And yes, that's perfect because it's in when I was doing my reading on various sites, including Wikipedia, but also some of the religious encyclopedias available at my local library online,
Wow.
because support your local library.
Mhm.
Um, they in Islam it means helper of God. It's also referred to as he who helps God. So there's variations to that. So,
Yeah.
um, anything you'd like to add, Terry?
Um, no, not yet.
Okay.
You guys are doing a great job.
Okay. Remind everybody, please like and subscribe. So there are a whole lot of religious associations with Azrael. And in Islam, he is Azrael is of cosmic size. You know, my question is exactly how big is cosmic size? Yeah. Um, 4,000 wings and a body formed by as many eyes and tongues as living human beings.
Yeah,
And that's a lot. So
that's
um,
attractive too.
he's a what?
That's attractive too.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely means if he says he's got eyes on you, you know, I
He
don't know if
does.
that's a good thing or
Yeah.
not. So, and I also in some text described as having a shape resembling a blue colored ram.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You saw that too?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I liked that.
Well,
So,
that's in one of the pictures that
Yeah, but
oh,
I lost it when I left, so we'll just forget about it, but,
oh,
no, put it in. Okay, well,
we'll see.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, overachiever. You know, we're all
Uh-huh.
overachieving here, so this works. And White Wolf Mother is here. Hello.
Hi, White Wolf Mother.
And so also described as having one foot in the fourth or seventh heaven and the other on the razor sharp bridge that separates paradise and hell. Both of you saw that?
Yeah.
well, I know that he will take you to wherever you are going.
Yes, and pretty quickly, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Any other historic associations that either of you have? This is lovely.
Well, I think he helps with, those that are earthbound also. Sometimes entities don't want to leave, they're confused or they're in pain, anguish, and, he helps with that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Very true. Very true.
and I got according to Muslim tradition, 40 days before death, God drops a leaf with a name on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was in the Muslim tradition. So,
Yes. I found that very interesting because, and I think that's an important thing to realize is because he who helps God isn't doing anything. It's not going to show up at your door if you don't have if it's not your time. And it's within 40 days of that leaf being dropped is what I read.
Yeah.
yeah.
4 4 is, in the Vedas, 4 means death also.
Ah,
Oh,
It's a
well, that's good.
number of death, yeah.
Yeah.
well, um, I'm, wait a second. Here's one thing that confused me this morning. Hi, Candy. Hi, Thomas. and all those
What
coming in.
confused you?
Um, that actually Archangel Gabriel is the angel of death, and that is like the angel of, somebody who that is not passing quickly, and that Archangel Azrael is for those who passed very quickly, like car accident, earthquake, things like that. So,
well, and oh, okay, yeah, go ahead, Teri.
Oh, I was just going to say there's so much opposing off information out there about him and the colors and the chakras that he works with and whatnot, and the stones that you can work with them. But and then so many people perceive him as the angel of death when they say he's really the angel of transformation.
Yes.
So if you need a change in your life, or if someone has died and you're going through grief and sorrow or trauma, like the whole world after everything
as
that's happened.
well as any grieving, the loss of a job, a
Yeah.
pet, a family member, moving, those are all the areas of aspect that Azrael is associated with. I also want to say, and I say this every time I've talked about angels and archangels specifically. Archangels have realms of where they excel. All angels can do all things because they're angelic. And so there's a lot of associations with a lot of the angels and archangels. They will work together because they are teams. I think it's really important for us to remember it's not just one angel that's doing all of the work per se. It's one angel oftentimes orchestrating and stepping in and helping. So,
Yeah, I like that.
and you got Mirella said so true, Teri. So, so I think it's important to realize you can call on any archangel to help you with anything. Oh, here, wait a minute. Call on any archangel that you want, that you remember in that time of need or that time of joy, because word gets around, I believe. They just aren't going to, you're not in their book per se. You're in the book.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And I think the other thing that, some things that you can, well, I don't know if this is under something else, but I thought this was interesting. The fact that Azrael works with mediums, and also if you want to see your loved ones in your dreams, you can call on Archangel Azrael when you go to sleep at night.
Yes.
And say, could you please have, whomever it is, I'd like to see them in my dreams.
Yes, absolutely. I did say hi to Candy and Tom, and Scorpio Mama's here, and Purple Elephant Deb 8 showed up. Archangels are free agents. There you
I
go.
like that idea. Yeah, I love that purple elephant.
Yeah. And look at what Tony says. Yeah.
Yeah. I was fascinated by a concept of there being 3 levels above earthly plane, where Mr. Morningstar lives, as he hasn't truly fallen. So, and I think it's one of those things that and you develop your own relationship with. I mean, that because they're all going to be able to help. So let's talk about the realms of focus, and I'm going to put Hot Gerald on while I go let my dog out.
Okay.
Who let the dogs out?
Oh, man.
Realms of focus. You want to start, Jane, or?
Well, the realms of focus. Transition. Is that what we're like?
I guess so, yeah.
Like things that I've already talked about, mostly about the ones I have known. The link to the mediums, help you sleep better, helps with the helpers. If you're a healer and a helper, they help you heal and help.
Yeah.
Yeah, things like that. What about you?
He can transmute emotional pain into light. And also, sometimes we talked about the earthbound entities, and sometimes earthbound entities are going to stay on the earth because it still is a free will planet, but he can help everybody go to the light. And he assists with that earthbound, but they don't have to. Also, he helps. Well, we said transitions and grief, so I think that's a lot of it. Also, he helps. Yeah, if somebody is crossing. So
Yeah, I want to bring up something because I was, I used to be a manager, so I can hear all things at all times. I'm not quite as good as a mother, who has eyes in the back of her head, but Candy said realms of focus. I've not heard of that. And Candy, this is it's not really my term, but it's the one I use because it just helps us is if I'm working on something, what might I call Azrael on for assistance with that? So, but yeah.
And we did art, but I have right here comfort.
Yes.
It says, I'm with you in your time of need, helping your heart heal. Also, if you are a counselor, Archangel
Yes.
comes in to help you be to help you cancel. You are a natural counselor. Many people benefit from your guidance. And then I love this because hello from heaven, like I said, he's the mediumship. He works with the mediums. If you want to meet somebody in your dream at night that has passed, you just ask Azrael. What do you got?
I love that. I'll just say because when we think about death, grieving, transitions, and passage, there's so many aspects of that because grief is a process. It's not one and done. It changes, it evolves. Our ability to cope with it and to live with it changes and evolves. And he is available to help with that transformation and that transitioning, both for the living and the deceased.
yeah, I love that. He also, I think I can't remember if it was in the Quran or in the Kabbalah, but they said that there were 4 angels and God gave them the dust that Adam had created. And he was the strongest one that could pick all that up. And as a medium or a remote viewer, a lot of times I'll see dust where there's anguish, like over Ukraine.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And also at certain conventions, political conventions in the past and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you'll see that dust, and he's able to clear that out, clear that space.
Mm-hmm. I think, yes, that's so true.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember reading about that, the idea of God sent 3 of the archangels down. They were not able to get it because he needed 7 handfuls of soil or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I apologize to all the rabbinical students who are going right now. Leave a comment, help me out, give me good references. And Hershey said, I thought I read that in the book of Enoch.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Maruda, Azrael is certainly working overtime in Ukraine right now. I think the last 3 years have been exceptionally busy.
Mm-hmm. And I think that he has a lot of helpers. And I think as light workers, we're probably doing that, a lot of us in our sleep.
Yeah.
So.
Now, was I talking to you, Teri? I don't know who I was talking to, but I felt like one of my jobs as a light worker in this lifetime was to help people pass over.
Yeah, we spoke about that.
We did speak about that. We both feel like, so I think it would be safe to say that both Teri and I work with Azrael because that's kind of our job here as light workers on Earth. It feels weird to know that, but
It makes sense. And medium Betsy Palmer said, Michael has told me that he is a collective of beings. I often think that's true for all angelic beings.
Yeah.
So,
I think you're right.
yeah, I think you're right too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Grief, comfort, and peace to the bereaved. And Candy is running to upstairs to get your angel deck.
Good.
And Morella said, good to know, Jane. I think it's about being for mediums.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, so call on Azrael when you're about to do some mediumship. Yeah, Candy Azrael seems to have a few spelled. Now, the one that's
a few spellings, yes. But sometimes, okay, let me see in my notes because
I thought I saw a different name and I can't remember where it was, but there weren't that many. It was pretty similar, and the Z seemed to be prevalent in most of
the
them.
Z or the ASH.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know if this is true. Yes, it's another way to thank you, Mystic.
I was going to say the one with the eye. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mystic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I see Rossi's den. Hello.
Hey, Rossi.
But then, okay, so and I the one thing I did not check for references in the Bible for Azrael, in the Christian Bible.
I think there something, I think it was in Paul, having to do with Solomon, King Solomon, and someone came to him running from Azrael.
Okay.
And I don't remember where that's at, but
because he was definitely in the Old Testament, and in different 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 other holy books.
yeah.
So because I'm just quickly scrolling through my my information. Benevolent transformer of mental and emotional anxieties.
Which comes under comfort.
You got it.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. Felt collective blank stare at mention of Christian Bible.
I'm pretty sure that
Yes,
we don't have watchers that are
yeah.
Yeah.
But Islamic Hebrew and Muslim literature has a lot of references.
Yeah, and I think Rumi had something in one of his poems. I was trying to find it, but I couldn't. So Sufism. So
and Ms. Tero D is here. Hello, Ms. Tero D.
Hello, Miss Tero D.
I just blew you a kiss, Ms. Tero D.
So so oftentimes referred to as the angel of death. That is a gross generalization and a very blunt truth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because let me tell you, if she writes my name on a leaf, Azrael is going to be the one to show up within 40 days. So, Maruda said, no such angel is treated as canonical in traditional rabbinic Judaism. However, an angel by a similar name, Azrael, is mentioned in Kabbalistic.
Yeah.
Yep. And the Zohar is where I was getting a lot of references.
Yeah.
So, and then we have another thing. The Hebrew Bible does not mention angel by the name Azrael, nor does it appear in the rabbinic literature of the Talmuds.
Yeah.
Okay,
but it exists.
But the Grim Reaper, yes, Antoinette, Tony there, yeah. I mean, like you Sword of the Grim Reaper, and we were talking about the tarot card Death, which
Yes.
means so many things.
Different title, but
yeah. Okay, so okay, some of the symbols that I'm going to see if this is here you go. Let's sort of lump in all of the associations, color stones, chakras, because the symbols are the sword or a hooded figure wearing a a hooded figure carrying a scythe. So oftentimes associated with the death card.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I've got a pretty picture of him here too. So change and transition.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, and if stories are anything to go by, Grim Reaper helps souls on, Angel of Mercy sends them down. And there's a very, depending upon which stories you read, there are, there's a specific way in which it happens. There's this idea of poison on the tip of the sword or the scythe, and then the soul is and then given an apple, and so therefore that apple is the transition, and every time Azrael blinks someone is supposed to die. So
whoa, interesting.
yes, and also everybody breathe. Okay, everybody take a sip. Oh, poor Candy. Azrael isn't in either of your angel decks.
well, Azrael got you. Oh, there's the googly eyes. There's Azrael's eyes.
Well, see, and this is it absolutely exists, but the angels were treated in separate literatures. Okay, thank you, Hershey. You are, Maruda. You are a bundle of knowledge. Thank you for being here, Maruda.
Maruda knows everything. She does.
And yeah, and Hershey also said some hide the ones that went against the word of man too. Yeah. So, and so, okay. So I was talking about the apple because the apple was an important symbol that kept showing up. So, all right, I'll stop talking and let Teri. What else do you have to share about associations, colors, stones, chakras?
Well, again, it was a real mix, right? There's so much different information. Some people thinking that he has a connection to survival and the root chakra and red, and then others thinking that he had a connection to cream and comfort, and a fifth dimensional chakra called the Saluna, which is about 4 inches in your aura above your forehead. Okay. So, which kind of reminds me of the 14th golden chakra of super consciousness, but that's, neither here nor there. So I got that, and I thought that was really interesting that there was it was kind of divisive. Like everybody else, we know pretty well, right? Metatron and Michael and everyone, but it was.
Well, I know of them, but I don't know them. Hence, the laugh and learn angels.
Well, that's true. Me too. I'm learning, but we kind of get their colors and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, what colors would you say are associated with Azrael?
Golden cream. And that kind of reminds me of that golden heart of Jesus or the golden heart of the divine feminine. Mm-hmm. And that Christ consciousness. So I think that Saluna chakra and the fifth dimension.
Nice. Jane, what about you? What do you have for colors?
I have my calcite. Yeah, calcite. Yes. Calcite, which is yellow again, but this is supposed to be the crystal that is calibrated to Azrael's frequency. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, since I've always put this on my solar plexus, I thought he had some sort of, like maybe there was some association there, but I don't think so.
For you, yes. If
Yeah,
you're putting it on your solar plexus, that would make sense because I'm just rambling now, but the weight of helping people cross over, it can cause your heart to grow weary. And since you are a medium and a light worker, etc., and that's part of your willing tasks, this is one of those things. It makes sense that Azrael is going to offer you comfort in your heart.
yeah. And it's very interesting too, because like I don't even know how I ended up with this sphere. I was just like, oh, that's or I don't have any idea, but I was like, and then when I found out that it was calibrated to Azrael's frequency, I thought, well, why am I not having this on my desk more with everything else?
Mm. And is it on your desk more?
It's on my desk right now.
Okay. Jonathan is late. Welcome, Jonathan. Maruda also shared red and black and indigo are also associated with Azrael.
Yeah.
And the lovely Sharon Sipe is here. Hello, Sharon.
Yay. Hi, Sharon.
Hershey is a big Metatron fan.
Mm. Same.
So, yeah. I was in the reading that I was doing, and sometimes, so what I do when I study these, I'll have my basic things that I'm watching out for. And then it's interesting when one resource says one thing and another resource says another that are completely opposite. But then I'm like going in my brain, I weave them together.
Mm-hmm.
So, because when you're thinking about, there's also, so pale yellow, but also white light or creamy pearl colors.
Yeah.
And I think about that is because people sometimes, yeah. Which one is that? Is that a moonstone?
I don't know if this is a moonstone. No, this is an opal something
Okay.
or other, but I thought it sort of had that creamy color, so I brought it down for Azrael.
Hi, Pims. Oh, look. There you go. Show us, Teri.
Got the
Selenite.
yellow calcite and selenite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and isn't selenite, that would make perfect sense.
I think selenite works for everything and everybody, don't you? It's like
Yes.
my go-to always here.
Yeah,
Yeah. But it does cleanse everything, doesn't it?
it does.
Transforms all that energy. Yeah.
Tony
And
said
it's self-cleansing.
Azrael is Capricorn angel.
Oh, interesting, Antoinette. I
I'm
like that.
I'm a Cap moon.
And Jackie's crystal moon, speaking of moons, Jackie's crystal moon said, I think you got to work with whatever makes sense to you,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Which is what we want people to do. So, one of the other things that I read about Azrael is he's always seen writing in a book. Did either of you
Mhm.
see that?
I did. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and he basically keeps track. He keeps track of those who were born and erases their name um when they depart, and he monitors their reincarnations.
Oh, I
So
love that, Gerald.
it's
That's
a
amazing.
very interesting thing, isn't it? It's like that's a lot of work.
I was going to
It's a
say he
lot of
must
work.
be very organized.
Yes.
I
Yes.
couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I bet, I imagine that probably has a whole bunch of little stash tags, reminding people to like and subscribe because they're the best chatters. I don't know. It could be something like that. So, oh, Deborah is here. Spirit Tribe Talks with Deborah. Hello.
Deb. So I also saw where he carries a vessel. also with like the earth in it, actually, because he's so big. But
Wow.
so I was kind of wondering about scrying in the vessel, and if he is because I thought that would be an interesting thing to work with him. But
Hmm.
That's very interesting.
just something that popped in.
I love that. I love that. And see, and this is the thing where I could, and the texts that I read is Azrael does not know when you are going to die.
Yeah.
Does not know that. Just as he who works with God just does what God tells him, and
Yeah.
so he wouldn't know. So, and okay. And Maruda said Pluto is under his rulership.
That's coming up next.
Yep. Yep. Um, and I'm also known as, yep, there you go. Thank you, Maruda.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, all those things.
oh, wow.
Very helpful. Yeah. So, all right.
Well, I wonder if he's associated, Maruda would know, with Kali, because Kali in the Vedas kind of is the goddess of death, but she's also the mother of the universe. So bringing in life and taking away life, I wonder if that's his counterpart, or I mean, they're all flowing, right? They're all they. They have different aspects of female and male. So wondering if that's an association there.
I think it very much could be.
Yeah.
It very much could be. And Tony said it makes sense though, Beth, in my mind, the devil being Capricorn's tarot, having the
Mm,
Grim Reaper to bring resurrection to souls needing to pass. So it seems like he would be by her side.
right, Maruda?
With Kali.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, again, best chatters. I'm gonna get worn. This is gonna get worn out because y'all show up, and this is great. Jane will be right back.
Okay. See you, Jane.
Hershey said he worked with Thoth as well. He had much knowledge that he shares with mankind.
Wow.
And oh yeah, Maruda, here's a task for you from Mystic Traveler, because trust me, we're all going to be writing that one down, or I will be.
Mm-hmm.
So
definitely.
So
I'm
Jane.
just looking up Kali Ma right now to find out if under the information I have about Kali Ma, it says anything about Azrael. But it would make sense because Kali Ma is the Hindu goddess of death and rebirth. So
yeah.
Yeah. And I just use Google, type in Archangel Azrael and the subject you want to hear about him. Okay, cool. I do something similar. And White Wolf Mother was saying I am just taking it all in. I have to wonder if he sends the Mothman out or if that connects to him.
Interesting. I love that.
The short answer is yes, probably. So
I have this little temple. This is from Kalinchek in Nepal. My daughter brought this back for me last time she was there. But a friend of mine who's a shaman also said it's a rocket ship and it's meant for traveling and transitions. So I wonder if that's, that kind of connects with him too, doesn't it?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know yellow calcite. One of the other things that I saw was flower agate, moonstone, and citrine. Probably citrine because of the color.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about flower agate.
I don't either.
So
I saw that. I've never heard of that, but I'm sure it's beautiful.
I've seen a lot of moss agate. I mean, I even have Scully right here. He's moss agate or some
Oh,
sort.
wow. That's beautiful.
Thank you. I figured Azrael, death, got to have a skull here. But I do
Yeah.
also have Jesus or Jesus and an elephant. Okay.
There you go. Well, and
Now I'm looking around.
Oh, do you have Bob?
I have Bob Ross, you know.
I love it.
Oh, okay.
Flower agate is beautiful, of course.
I bet. Sounds beautiful. Just the name is beautiful.
And look, everybody, purchase responsibly, know your limits. So that's actually one that I don't have. I do have a couple of angel books, and really there was only a brief mention of him in here, and I don't recommend this book.
Mm-mm.
It's not quite that helpful. But this says the ruling planet would be Pluto,
Mhm.
and Angels of the Moon, and the 25th day. No,
I got the 4th day of the 28th moon cycle.
Jane is right, everybody. Please mark it down.
Wow,
At
James.
2:46 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Jane is right.
That's oh yeah.
And one other reference in that book, right? About transitions.
Yeah.
So, because you know, there's like Archangel Gabriel is an announcer, but you know, announcing the death and all that stuff. So yeah. Doot, 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 doot. So flower agate helps bridge you between emotions and what's really happening, connects heart and root chakras. Ooh, nice.
Is
Well,
it really available? That's what I'd like to know.
yeah, that'd be nice.
Jonathan wanted to know if that was Buddy Jesus.
No, it's Dancing Jesus. I wanted Buddy Jesus, but I got Dancing Jesus. And he comes with his own conga line.
No.
What, with like 12 apostles and Mary Magdalene?
Yeah, look, I kid you not. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. This is his songs. The songs that he has are his dance moves are, if you wanted to know, we've got the Water Walk, the Carpenter Clog, the Temptation Tango, the Temple Slam, the Lazarus Lurch, the Judas Hustle, the Cheek Turn the other cheek, the Last Supper Stomp, Pilot Shuffle, Ascension Swing. And I don't know where his Congo line is right here. Sorry, excuse me, pardon me. Here's his Congo line.
Oh my God, I love it.
That's hilarious. Beth said, Jane, I see it in metaphysical stores a lot.
Okay, good.
And Jane 4879, Terror Your Way 3.
Oh, Thomas.
So it's fairly common. So that's good. That's what I'm seeing.
Well, good.
And White Wolf Mother talked about having the crystal Bibles, and they're great resources. And the only thing that's better than those is your own experience, and you create your own reference for them.
Yeah.
So turn sounds like voguing. Who knew that's what Madonna was doing? Well, there you go.
Right.
Cheek turning. There you go. Oh my gosh.
I'll just do my.
So, all right, we're not. Yeah, there you go.
Wait, I like to use your little tiny hands that you do, Teri.
Oh yeah.
See, there's Teri's tiny hands. She makes her own.
There you go.
Hi, Geocosmic Valentine.
Hello.
Yeah, Jesus.
Jesus. Dr. Has. There you go. Okay, so other associations. We're at 50 minutes in, and then I would like to be able to finish up with ways to connect with, and how do we sense and experience and feel Azrael. So anything This would be the free for all, if you would like that.
I think I did read a little bit about the heart chakra too, connecting with him through the heart chakra, which would make a lot of sense since he's such a counselor and whatnot. So, like we said, he's a, those angels do it all. They're well versed.
Yeah. Well, and I had also heard he works with hospice workers, doctors and nurses who are caring for, and and I would say that that's absolutely true from my experience with my parents. And you know how it is when you have somebody who's good, who knows what's doing, is going to be very truthful with what they share
Yeah.
in such a generous way that the family can hear it. It's really powerful.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so, counselors and comfort, yes. So, grief
Yeah.
counselors, that's so good. Seriously, I have a whole lot of stuff in all that.
But what I thought was really interesting yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, Maruda. But what I thought was really super interesting about this, and I'm gonna bring this right back to the show on Netflix, Lucifer, because it was because of the way Ray Azrael showed up on
Mhm.
there was because it said that Azrael is mostly used when there's an accident, when it's a quick thing. It's a really quick
Okay.
thing. And in that show, hi Hilda, in that show, he Azrael, there was somebody who always was calling Ray, had a somebody that they saw that they called Ray. And then Lucifer and then the person who, she was a detective, and she goes, and she thought she was weird because she had this little play person called Ray.
Mhm.
And then when Lucifer hears her say, well, Ray, and he was like, Ray, because that's what all of the archangels, they all have their little like Lucifer is Lucy,
Mhm.
Bell
Yeah.
was,
Pet names.
yeah, they all have their little pet names. So I thought that was really interesting. And of course, the rays, I did not see the transmute, what ray Azrael transmuted, what color.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. I don't know, Maruda?
Maruda also said yellow, indigo,
Mhm.
indigo blue, red. Isn't that redundant? Indigo blue.
Yeah,
Um,
sorry, Miss Charlotte showed up.
I miss Charlotte. Yay.
Hey, Miss Charlotte.
Um, the question is what rays? Was that right?
What color ray does he transmute? And
Uh,
maybe he's not a transmuter of rays.
Interesting. Because he takes away the
the
death.
second ray.
Hmm?
Azrael is the archangel of second ray, connecting to unconditional love, wisdom, and guidance.
Oh, okay.
That's beautiful.
So,
Yeah. And I also in my little notes I see that he's also can be intense and powerful.
mhm.
Just a little piggies just for you.
Yeah.
She thinks that when poor Miss Charlotte, she thinks that I think she's a mascot.
One of the things that I also, because the wings, the 4,000 wings, also looked at the wings of grace and the wings of punishment. So I find it very interesting that
And aren't his wings, they're not white. Aren't they a
I would
darker
imagine
color?
I think they're dark on the outside, and then inside, when he picks you up, they're gold when he carries you away.
okay. Did both of you show all of your pictures? And Teri, if you want to try to get your screen up, if you want to try to share with us again.
Okay.
Yeah, just try.
I'll see.
Okay. And Maruta said the second ray is blue. That must be where the indigo association comes from.
Oh, maybe.
That's true.
I'm not going to grab my book right now, but yeah. And then also, he didn't seem to have a day of the week or a time of the day that he was associated with. Or
I looked at that as well. Yeah. As I was looking at some stuff here, where is it? I'm scrolling. You have something?
Oh. How's this? Can you see this? Wait a minute.
Wait.
Everybody, while you're waiting for this, please make sure you hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe. All of our previous Laugh and Learns about angels or archangels are listed in below. So,
and I would also say, if for some reason you're new to Tarot Stash, go back and watch all of his Tarot the Stash Way if you want to learn about tarot.
well,
All right,
you.
there I said it.
There you go.
Did you get it?
Did you get it in? Nope. Yes. So. Here you go.
Okay.
Take us through. And by the way, these are images that you had found online, so no copyright infringement intended. But there you go.
Right, and I did kind of put a thing on them. I did a filter on them, so I changed them up. So Archangel Azrael, the benevolent transformer of mental and emotional anxieties. The angel of death. That kind of reminded me of when we were talking about that indigo, and also the darkness on the outside and the gold on the inside. The angels when he transforms them, and it kind of looks like the phoenix, doesn't he?
Yes, and actually, that's one thing that I heard is there is yeah. Jane and I are both going, yes, the phoenix.
Phoenix. Right.
Yeah, because I mean, with every death, there's a rebirth. There's a rising. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then that beautiful white around his crown chakra in this one. Okay. We already said that 40 days before the death of a person approaches, God drops the leaf from a tree of the heavenly throne, which Azrael reads the name of the person he must take with him. And this is that blue ram that we were talking about. And he has his book. I kind of put those words in there, probably at the wrong spot. In the Islamic Book of the Dead describes him with 4 faces. His whole body consists of eyes and tongues. Which Gerald, you already talked about that, but here he looks quite beautiful, or they. And I did see many pictures that were all different colors, and then that's a horrible shot of that yellow calcite. But
look, it does say solar plexus chakra there, so I was partially right by putting my yellow calcite on my solar plexus.
Wow, you can read that? Impressive.
Well, I can read those 2 words.
Good. Oh, yeah, solar plexus. Okay, I get it. Okay. That's it.
That's so great. Oh my gosh. I'm getting a lot of love in the chat for being a good channel, so thank you.
He's the best guest and the best host. Like,
he is the best host ever.
Because if he's on your channel and you get knocked off because your internet goes away, he will take over your channel. And it's okay, because he's not going to mess it up.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, and Thomas said, I have avoided the 40-day notice on several occasions. And I actually think, the important thing with that is that tells me it really wasn't a 40-day notice. There was something else going on.
Yeah. Or sometimes they talk about an exit point. Like, we all have different exit points that we can take if we decide we want to.
Right. And you know what? I've got this piece of paper right here because I've been at an exit point a few times. And there was one where I had a near-death experience. And it's called a self-reflect, or a split from your body. And I did that during surgery when I was 16 or 17 years old. I was watching the surgery from up in the corner of the room. And I told the surgeons the next morning, I was like, well, you guys were talking about this, that, and the other thing. And then he was like, no, we weren't. No, we weren't. And then I talked to a nurse that I know, and I told her about that. And she was like, oh, yeah, that happens all the time.
Mhm.
Wow.
She had talked to a lot of people who watched their procedures from the corner of the room.
Hi, Karen Johnson. And just getting caught up. And then I want to hear how you all connect with, and because people are still, I think, still interested. Recently, my mother, a mother superior in an enclosed order of nuns, said, even in case of tragedy, we prepare for our death, which ties in with that 40 days before slide. So,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Well, that let's say you're about to have an accident. I mean, that happens when you're, and you're like, oh, you go, oh, gee, I'm about to hit a tree. That's a prayer too, which would bring in that energy. That's what I think.
So what was your frame of mind when you were witnessing that? Were you like calm, and did you feel like you were surrounded by angels, or were you just curious?
I just I didn't honestly, I don't remember. I've always been surrounded by angels. So, because I've seen them since I was 3, but I don't specifically remember angels being around me during that time
Mm-hmm.
at all. But that was so many years ago, because I'm
Yeah.
105, and it was when I was like 16 or 17. So I just remember thinking that it was weird, and but it was like, and what I have been told since then is, if I wanted to go, I could have gone at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But clearly it wasn't my time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody asked me, and I didn't see anything. So there.
Yeah. Jackie, thank you for sharing that about your friend.
Oh, I'm sorry.
One of the other things is Archangel Azrael is also considered the archangel of surrender. So think about that as surrendering to what was and what will be, and being in the moment is. I think it's really powerful. So,
Yeah, look at what Hilda says there.
I was in a close rollover and I saw my life right in front of me because I felt like I was in a tornado. And I did ask my angels to help me, and the vehicle stopped in the time before rolling over. That's good.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's that OS moment where you kind of go, you send up that prayer, and it doesn't matter if you only get a minute, a little bit of it,
Yeah. Hershey sees the angels everywhere and in different forms.
Mhm.
All right. So, in wrapping up, what are some ways to connect with? How do you feel, sense, or experience them? So, anything you'd like to share with that?
Teri?
Oh, okay. Well, yes, I've often experienced entities that were confused or trying to pass on. When and it all works around trauma, right? So when my mom was dying, I lived next to a hospital, and all of a sudden at night, all these entities were coming in, and they were just orbs. They weren't, I couldn't see their figures or anything, but they were coming in, and I knew what they were, and I called in 3 angels, which I didn't know about Azrael, but like you said, they all work together. It was Jesus and Saint Patrick and Saint Michael,
Mm-hmm.
or Archangel Michael rather. And anyway, and they took care of him, but there were entities that would not leave, that were like, and I wasn't, I was like, okay, but you can't stay here. You have to move on. And since then I've been able to see orbs and sense them when they are trying to leave the planet, or some of them are just guardians of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So
Maruda's, well, okay. Hilda said, I know they were always with me. I just tended to ignore them, I guess, but no more. Well, that makes sense.
yeah,
And mostly Maruda said, mostly I ask him to help people who are going through family death experiences. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do have a tiny little story about, and I'll make it really fast.
Great.
When I was helping a friend of mine, I was helping a family, and the mother was, she was dying of cancer, and so I was her caretaker for the last few months of her life, and I was really good friends with them anyway. But what was very interesting about it was my entire life, angels have been leaving me dimes. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And so when I went and started going over and being with my friend, I'll call her I don't know. Anyway, when I went over to her house to start taking care of her, there were dimes all over her house.
Mm-hmm.
One time, the hospital tray, because she was in a bed, and there was a one of those trays that you get in the hospital, even though she was at home. And I took everything off of that tray, I cleaned it, and I put everything back on it. And when I looked back over on that tray, there was a dime on it.
Wow.
Yep.
So, and I will say that during that time of when she was passing, had I really thought about it, I probably would have. You've been finding quarters. Good. I keep asking my
Nice.
angels $50.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miss Charlotte said, ask for my guides to leave me $100. So,
But yeah, I mean, if I wish, I mean, I really felt all of the angels, and it had to have been Azrael when
Yeah.
she was during that time, and it was it was a blessing to be asked to
yes.
help her.
They must have really been happy to have you there too. You must have been a real blessing to them.
I was happy to be there.
Yes, they were happy to have you there. Well, and I think that that's an important thing. I really appreciate you bringing that up, because in some of the research, people are talking about how do you honor and how do you recognize, and there are just going to be small signs. Some people get dimes, some people get feathers, some people see butterflies, some people see numbers, angel numbers. Paying attention to those things are what allows us to have a connection to things outside of ourselves, and to help us feel connected to each other. Yeah, you got one too. There you go, Hilda. Yes, feathers and 444.
Mhm.
And Jackie said, I just remembered there's a coin hidden in my car under my back seat. It's not euro, it's American. Just check in a minute. Yeah.
Isn't
Wow.
that interesting? See, and why would you have that in your car, an American coin?
Yep. And 2 dragonflies for hours. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, and again, that's part of the sensing and the feeling and the experiencing them. So, and it's like when I had mentioned my parents, and when they were in hospice care, I wasn't necessarily paying very close attention to that, but now I look at it and I thought, okay, yes, they have done this a lot. The hospice workers, the nurses, the doctors, they get it, they understand it. But isn't there, I think there's something about knowing or being able to say the things the family members need to hear, even though they don't understand it.
Yeah.
Sort of like when we do readings. I don't know why I'm saying this, but there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. He feels like he's really tender-hearted too, but, not stoic, but soft in a weird way because he's has so much strength, but, that conundrum of being, soft and strong.
Well, I mean, and let's face it, who wants to see not necessarily a welcome guest at the dinner table, so to speak. Um, so
But I mean, I think that he took away, or they took away my fear of death
Yeah.
because, and I wonder, because I really don't have that fear, because I know that my work goes on. Once I leave this plane, I will continue. And I wonder if it's because I've been putting this for 2 years on my solar plexus when I was doing my when I was laying there and had crystals all over my body, doing meditations.
yeah. Of course, everybody's got the fan now. You do you. It's all good. You do you. So, I want to say thank you to everyone. And before everybody leaves, Teri, what do you have coming up on your channel?
I am on with a few people this week. I have to look and see who, but I'm going to be on with Sonia, from Coffee Chat,
On
and
Friday?
and I have a trauma specialist coming in. So her name is Rachel Grant, and she wrote a book, Beyond Surviving, and she makes it fun. So it sounds like such a boring, depressing show, but she's hilarious. She's really funny. She'll be on tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Jane, what do you got coming up?
Well, tomorrow I'm going to be with Allie of Heart and Soul Connected at noon East, 9 a.m. Pacific. And then Ginger Faye will be on with me in the morning. And then Teri, of course, will be on Thursday. And then
Yeah.
Teri and I are doing something on her channel on Saturday.
We are doing Meet the Mediums. I think
Yeah.
this, yeah.
We're gonna do
Love it.
mediumship, man.
Yeah.
Beth shared, one of my best friends died Saturday suddenly. We've
Mm.
been friends for 48 years, and this has been good for me. I'm glad it was helpful. Thank you, Morella and
Sorry for your
Ziggy
loss.
and Candy. A lot of love for you, Beth. So lots of hugs. Rossi's Den said, I'm not aware of any angels near me. It's beautiful hearing your experiences. I would say they're around. I encourage you to say hi and then listen for a response. Yay. Hilda's one of the cool kids. See you, Hershey. Ms. Tara D saying goodbye. I am I have a thank you, Mystic Traveler. And I actually love hosting for this. I am actually a guest for Twillo Talk Live tonight. And we're Twillo Lifestyle tonight at 5 p.m. Tomorrow is a back and forth with Jamie and Gerald.
Love those.
I have a silly casual on Wednesday with Kelly. I am a guest on Rainbow Readers on Mark, Spirit Whisperer.
Spirit Whisperer.
Thursday at 2 is another Woo Woo Witchery and Coffee Club. And then on Friday, I'm a guest on the Cool Crown. So basically, just like and subscribe. It'll help you be there. So, yeah. But Cheyenne Rising, you're welcome. So, and this has been Amaze Balls. Love that. Amaze Balls.
First I thought it said Annabelle, and I'm like, Annabelle?
So, I don't know what'll be up next for the three of us, but I'm sure we will figure it out. Yeah, it's the Tarot Stash World Tour,
It
and
is, man.
it's gonna be a lot of fun. So just follow the channel. I put stuff on the community tab. So you're welcome, Jonathan. And all right, you two hang out, and we will say goodbye to everyone. Bye.